Greetings, Chanel.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Right. Are you ready for another movie review episode?
I am ready.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because we got two amazing films to talk about. So good. Best of the best. Right? So we have, today we're going to be discussing Dìdi and Girls Will Be Girls. Do you by chance have a preference of which one we should start with?
I think we should start with Dìdi.
Okay. Dìdi. So I'm going to revert to you with the information that I know that you have possibly pulled up and give us an overview of what Dìdi was about.
So I only have the cast and crew up here because there's no way we're going to remember that for every movie, babes. It's not going to happen.
That's very fair.
But, so I can give you what I remember from this movie because we watched this quite a bit ago. So basically, the movie is about a kid named Chris. Okay, Chris Wang, and he is a middle schooler. He's living his life. He's just vibing. He's really interested in skating and like filming, skating, and that kind of vibe. And so, that's his vibe. That's his essence. And so he goes out, he meets some older kids. He ends up trying to like record, for them. And he's trying to be like the cool kid and like try to fit into their tribe. And it's not working for him. It's not working for him because he's not that dude. You know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to be fake? Just be you.
He doesn't have that sauce.
He doesn't have that sauce. And it's like, if you would just be yourself, they'd be fine with you. But you're trying to do too much, you know?
Right.
And people can sense when you're trying to do too much. So he tries to go to a party and like hang out with them and be cool. He tries to, have something go on with his love interest, and that doesn't work out for him. It's awkward. It's weird. And so eventually he ends up losing those new friends because he said that he was being lame to his mom. And they're like, why are you being lame to your mom? Your mom's cool, bro. And you said that you were half white. Half, what was it? Half white Chris, half Asian Chris, whatever. That was.
I think they called him half Asian Chris.
Half Asian Chris. So like.
Maybe.
But you're not half Asian. He has two Asian parents. So he's just being ashamed to be ashamed. His dad is not really in the picture. I can't remember what his dad did, but he's somewhere.
I think he was working.
I think he was working. I don't remember what he did though. Was he military or something? I don't remember. But he's gone. He's not really in the picture, and the mom's trying to take care of everything. They have their grandma living with them, and the grandma's up the mom's butt every single day, like bothering her. So
it's the paternal grandmother.
Yes. So that's the premise of the movie.
Issue.
It's just him trying to live his life, and he's being awkward because he's a middle schooler, and the vibes are not vibing, but it's because he's trying too hard. And I think at the end, he finally just learns to be yourself. Just be yourself. I think he learned to be himself. I think he learned that his sister doesn't hate him. And I think he learned that he should appreciate his mom. So I think that's what he learns by the end. But that's the general premise. There's not really any like big plot points to like tell you an exciting plot story,
Yes. Also, apologies for the coughs. I'm getting over a cold.
Oh no.
Right. Oh no. But overall the movie kind of gave a slice of life type-esque, and I feel like very, very true to that slice of life because it wasn't really much, like you said, big plot points, or I think that I guess you could have points where you would like reach the climax of the movie. I think that's kind of where his skater friends kind of like ditched him, but outside of that, it was very generic. Which I feel like the movie was trying to, like, display just, like, what is life like for a first-generation kid growing up through these awkward stages of life, And it's the fact that he's, like, the first boy. Like, his sister's obviously off doing her thing, going to school, and probably at least it was more portrayed that the sister was more of that picture-perfect kid in the sense of, like, doing well in school, having the opportunity to go to school, and then Chris was the one that was being compared to all of his mom's friends, of not doing so well academically
Yep.
and not really having much to show for himself.
Yeah.
So it was kind of him navigating being like, well, that's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And you should care what I want. But his mom's like, no, you should do stuff that's good for your career, you know?
Yeah.
So that awkwardness.
Yes, the awkwardness. So would you like to go scene for scene? Band for band?
Yeah. I will say this movie, I watched it a while ago.
Yes.
So one of the scenes that I do remember, it was the party at the girl he had a crush on's house, you know? And like how he found his way in her bedroom and they were just hanging out. And I just remember feeling awkward. Like, I think that's a feeling that I had throughout the entire movie was I just felt awkward.
Yep.
I think he felt awkward. And it was just one of those moments where you were just like, bro, you're kind of overstaying your welcome. Like, why are you chilling in a girl's room? I know you're having a conversation.
That was the premise the entire time. It was like, you remember middle school when we were all awkward as hell? Yeah. That's what we're gonna show.
He was in middle school, right?
Yeah. He was like, I think 8th grade going into 9th grade type thing.
Right. So like the summer in between.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I just remember that scene because it gave awkward, and yeah, just like I think they were looking at videos on her phone or something.
Yeah, the computer or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then
like, oof.
They had MySpace in there. Like, it was a lot of throwback stuff. MySpace, early YouTube vibes.
Did you ever use MySpace?
I definitely had an account that I did not use.
Okay. I never had an account. Like, I missed that era.
Yeah, I was never into it. There's a lot of people super into it and like, I personalized my page and da da da. And I was like, I don't have that energy.
Or talking about their best friends on MySpace or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like also we were kind of young for that. We were probably around his age, but like, not every kid his age was like, I'm going to be on MySpace like all the time. You know?
That's true. I feel like we might have been younger than his age. I think the film was supposed to take place in like 2003.
Oh, is it 2003? YouTube, no, YouTube started in 2007.
Oh, darn.
Let me double check that, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then MySpace, I think that was a tail end. When did MySpace ended? What? MySpace is far from dead. I don't know. It hit its peak. MySpace hit its peak in 2008. So we'll use that. And then YouTube.
Let's just say, so 2007, 2008, let's just assume around then, we were less, like, younger than 13 at that point.
Yeah.
So.
And then YouTube started possibly? 2005, but I feel like it didn't get popular until, like, you know, a little bit later.
Right. So there could be a possibility that 2007 is around the time that the movie started.
Around there. So we're a little bit younger than him.
Yeah. So that could also be the reason why we didn't have as much of an influence, because I think we got into a lot of the stuff, like you said, at the tail end.
Yeah.
Of its fruition, or whatever the word is.
Yep.
But anyway, what is a scene that you would like to talk about?
The scene that I would like to talk about is, oh my god, bro. The one with him and his crush on the freaking slide or whatever.
Yep.
Am I making you nervous?
Oh my god.
That first of all,
rolling my eyes.
The director of this movie and writer, his name is Sean Wang, and I know he said, I'm going to give them the real. He said, I'm going to give you guys the real. Because I remember that game. I remember that. And so.
Oh, it was a game?
It was a game. Am I making you nervous? And then
played it.
One person would just do whatever they wanted, right? They would be like, oh, I'm going to touch you on the neck. Oh. Are you nervous? Am I making you nervous? And so that was definitely a real game.
I never played it. I thought it was just a thing that they made for the show.
No. I'm telling you, Sydney. Sean Wang, the director and writer, I would be I would not be surprised if this is his literal, what do you call it, memoir? I would not be surprised.
Yeah. That this is just like he's pulling from his own personal experiences.
Because I'm like, some of that stuff, it's too real. It's too real.
Right.
I'm scared. But yeah, watching them do that, I'm like, oh, the middle school awkwardness. And then her like actually going for it and then him being so awkward.
Yeah.
It hurt me.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, the awkwardness was painful to watch. Like, it was palpable. It was very palpable. A little bit too palpable.
Too. Juicy.
It's
juicy. What about you, Cindy?
But yeah. I think the next scene would be, this is like, oh my gosh, when him and his friend, they went on that double date. And his friend told him to like play it cool, and he excuse me, was anything but cool.
Anything but
and
cool.
He proceeded to tell a story about how they blew up. Like, I think the movie opened with them blowing up the mailbox, but they also blew up a squirrel. And he just kept going and going and going, and his friend was trying to get him to stop, and he was like, no, shut up, like, I'm gonna tell this story. And it ultimately ended up with him, he literally got, like, removed from the group. They're like, we don't want your friend to come. Your friend's really weird.
Like, you guys want to come to a party, but you're not invited.
Yes. And I want to just say this, his friend is not a real one. Like, yeah, your buddy messed up, but how is he supposed to get home?
Yeah. Walk home.
Like,
Call
you're
your
literally
mom.
just leaving him at the restaurant. How is he supposed to get home?
Yep.
So
he don't care.
That scene was also very painful. Oh yeah, he doesn't care at all. Like, I would say one of the themes that carried out, and we'll get into it more, but like, he didn't have good friends.
No.
Like, his friends kept failing him.
Yep. And then he was trying to be whack to get some new friends, and I was not working for him. So my scene, I would say the one where he shows them the video that he took.
Yes.
Of them skating, and it was horrible and not in focus, and it was just the ground, and he just sat there after they left because he was being super lame. He was being super lame. Oh my god, I would have loved to. But
that moment,
he was just sitting there, and he just control, select all, delete.
Yeah. No, because it's like, we were seeing the montages, right? Because we were seeing the instances that were supposedly being filmed as they were happening. And the way that he was talking to them, and the way at least it looked like he was positioning his camera, it looked like he got stuff.
It looked like he got it. The money
and
shot.
Then, even at the end, there was that one, I was like, okay, well, he messed up everything. But that one scene where they were like at the abandoned mall, and they were being chased by the security guard, I thought at the very least he got that. And then when I realized it was mostly pointing to the floor, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, you lied and said you're a videographer, and you don't even know what you're doing.
Not even close. Not
even close.
That hurt me to watch as well.
Yeah. Yes. I actually have a scene that happened a little bit before that, or at least, I believe it did happen before that, when he introduced himself, I think is half Asian Chris or half white Chris. I can't remember which one it was, but it was at the party that he went with these older kids, and they were passing around a blunt.
Yes.
And he was like, oh yeah, I've definitely done this before. And I think he ate the whole thing.
Wow.
Is that what happened? He
but I can't remember.
To inhale, and then
I can't remember if he did it on accident or if he.
It was on accident.
Okay, it was on accident.
Yeah, because he's never smoked blunt before.
Yeah. So and they were like,
bro,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and then he proceeded to get really high.
Yeah.
I think that's when his sister and him had like a bonding moment, because I think she picked him up or he came home high.
Yep.
And she was like, you can't do this. And she was like, are you going to be okay? Like, I want you to know that I don't hate you. Like,
because she's going to college.
Come home. Yeah. Because she was concerned because he was doing concerning things.
To say the least.
Right.
But
you have another scene?
I did enjoy the dynamic between the mom and the grandma and how they were ready
I was
to
gonna say the same
fight
thing.
each other.
Yeah. Like, I had a lot of thoughts at that scene when the grandmother was, like, being incredibly rude to the mother. And
Yeah.
I understand that happens a lot with, like, mother-in-laws, you know? Where it's just, like, the expectation of, like, or you should be better for my son, like, you're not good enough. Like, ultimately, the mother was an artist, and she was an artist who kept sending her work in for, like, art shows and kept getting rejected. And so her mother-in-law was essentially like, you're giving nothing. Like, my husband is out here working hard, and all you're doing is sitting around at home criticizing her cooking and all that stuff. And I'm just sitting there watching, being like, but you're benefiting. Like, do you not realize that, like,
she's taking care of you?
She's taking care of you. Like, the meals that you're eating are the meals that she's making. And, like, no offense to the kids. It's not their responsibility to have to take care of their grandmother. Like, that's not a responsibility that should be put onto them. But at the same time, your only other option outside of her are two kids who don't seem to care as much. Like, one of the kids is at college and the other kid is, like, literally finding his own identity. You're fighting the only person who gives any sort amount of care, whether or not you survive. And the only one who has the capabilities to take care of you if something were to happen. Because I think there was a scene that happened where the grandmother passed out in the backyard. And didn't Chris find her?
I think so.
Was it Chris?
Because I think it was after a fight with the mom or something.
Yeah. Yes. And then Chris found her and he was struggling. Like, he was calling for help. Like, he is not capable to take care of you being the grandmother, on his own. The only person that's capable to do so is the person that you're telling is not adequate enough to be doing it in the first place. So, like, don't bite the hand that feeds you, my friend, type thing. Yeah. So that, I agree with you. Like, that dynamic. It was also good to see that. And it did bring a lot of emotion because I'm like, come on, be nice.
Be nice. All the things she does for you, and your son is nowhere to be found. He's making money.
Yeah,
but
like, where is he?
He ain't nowhere, girl.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I have. That's it.
Okay. That's all that I have. I think. Oh, I guess I could say the way the movie ended. Here's the thing. I think I'm just a vindictive person. I feel like if you cross me like that and you go and, like, leave me on the curb and, like, stop talking to me or only want to hang out with me because I have cooler friends, don't try to be my friend when we start high school. Like, I'm gonna just make new friends.
That's true. And you know, they still might grow apart because that's what happens.
To be honest, they definitely show the signs that they will grow apart. I believe their interest and focus, like, Chris is interested in girls, but I don't think to the same extent as his friend was, or is, I guess, in the sense that we're talking about the film more present tense. So I feel like that will be a little bit of a deviation. I think Chris was going to focus a little bit more after having that realization of, you can't really fake your way into making friends. I think he's going to try to develop some more into things that he's actually interested in. Like, I can foresee him being the type of person to sign up for, like, an AV club. And I feel like that might have been one of the clubs that he was looking at when he was going through on the first day. Like, looking more so into filming and actually building up that filming skill that he claimed that he had at the beginning of the film that didn't actually exist. Yeah. So I could for sure see them growing apart, but, like, yeah, we wouldn't be friends again. Like, I'd be over it. I'd be like, I could do better. Or I'd be better off by myself, if I'm being honest, but that is also me talking in my, like, late 20s, not a freshman in high school with all my insecurities. So maybe me in the past would be thinking differently, but the me now would be like, you're cut out and I'm good. Thank you.
You see? And you learn that with experience.
With experience and time, it gets better. You don't have to have people. You can be fine, and you will find the people in your life that will enrich your life and not pull from your life. You know what I mean? Yes. And it may take time. Like, I'm gonna say, me 5 or so years ago, there's a bunch of people that used to be in my quote unquote tribe 5 years ago that do not exist today. I don't even know where they are. So it's always growing, always evolving, always changing.
Absolutely.
But, get one day at a time.
Yeah.
Lovely. Are there any things that you would say that you didn't necessarily enjoy from this film, or any points to the actors that you want to say as far as liking or disliking the way they portrayed their role?
I think the main actor, Isaac Wang, the actor, he did a great job. He gave me middle schooler. I feel like every actor in this movie did what they were supposed to do. I just wish that there was a little bit more plot and something that would make me want to go back and watch this again. I feel like the way that the movie was, it was awkward, which is supposed to be. It was nostalgic, period. Especially because I'm pretty sure it's set in Southern California. So I'm like, the vibes are extra strong for me.
You're like, I know that place. I've seen this place.
Okay, I don't know about that, but the general vibes were there.
Right.
And so, I think overall, it was just a decent movie for me. It was not anything spectacular. I think I was expecting more. I think I wanted to see a little bit more of a plot-driven story than just a character-driven story. That's what it's giving to me. Like, it's more about what he's feeling instead of what's actually happening in the movie, and I just prefer to have a little bit more plot. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the day, though, when we watched it, it was the same day, because we wanted to watch it together.
Yeah.
Because they were both on Apple TV, and even though we're both together on like the same Apple TV plan, we found out that if I were to buy the film on my Apple TV, you wouldn't have it. So we just waited until we're together.
So annoying.
And we watched this. It is very annoying, but we watched this film the same day we watched A Different Man.
Oh my god! I remember that. We watched this one first, though, right?
We did watch this one first, and I think we felt mid about it after we watched it, but then after watching A Different Man, we were just like, oh, this is not so bad.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Different Man. Oh my god.
Yeah. Different Man was a struggle.
Like, but especially back to back, though, real quick. Back to back was crazy. Because we watched this one, we were like, okay. And then we watched the Different Man, and we literally just sat there, like, and looked at each other and said, no. We're going to sleep.
See, the thing that was hard about A Different Man was we were waiting so long to watch it. Like, we were so excited for that film, and we were just like, okay, we'll just watch it together, and that'll be perfect. And then afterwards, we were just like, what was that? But what I wanted to say about Didi is I agree with you. It felt like there could have been more, and I feel like the film, if you can see the screen time, I feel like the film was like 2 hours, so I think it gave
was it 2 hours?
This is a lot of time. Was it 2 hours or was it?
I'll check. I'll check.
Okay. Before the point I was gonna make is I felt like it's either we had the conversation where it's like it was a lot of time but not a lot of substance.
It was 93 minutes. But you see, when you said 2 hours, it felt like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it was 90 minutes.
It felt like it went on for a long time and
longer than it needed.
Substance. Yeah. So it's again one of those things where we talked about where certain things would have been so much better if it was a short film. Like if this was, it's crazy that it's an hour and a half, but maybe if this was like an hour,
not even,
it would have done.
If they would have made it a 45 minutes, like 20, 30 minutes, I think they could have got everything done.
Yeah, probably. So, It was a movie. And I think it was a decent, but definitely, like you said, not something that I would go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I will say though, one of the highlights is when he, this is why I don't like children, especially the middle school age, but that kid that his mother was pretty much comparing to the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it was him or his friend. Oh, it was the kid's friend.
Yeah.
Who came up to him and he was just like, "Am I making you nervous?" I hate how kids talk. Like, why do they always be chit-chatting just to be... Well, I guess in the scheme of things, it was her friend. So that makes sense. But the friend was using that as, like, ammunition against Chris.
We know
and
what you did, and that was embarrassing. You're a loser.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
So when Chris beat him up, I thought it was warranted. I fully thought it was warranted. And I don't know why. Like, I really maybe need to check myself. Because it's like, I understand that violence is not the answer, but, like, people can be verbally violent, you know?
True.
And so sometimes it's like, if someone's going to be verbally violent to me, if I want to get them to be quiet, I may have to be violent back. And I understand that that's not how you should solve your problems. Yeah. But as a kid, kids don't understand when to stop unless it's like they reap like big repercussions from
You're
what
saying
they're doing.
They got to learn the hard way.
Hey, I don't have any kids. I've never raised any kids. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, and I'm sure there's books out there on how to do it better. But in my all honesty, I don't feel like Chris did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. I probably would have said to him like, "Hey, we shouldn't beat people up," but like, I understand why you felt the need to do it because you were feeling attacked. Yep. So if you're feeling attacked, you need to defend yourself.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I digress. I just want to say, because I looked up the Wikipedia page. So this was set in the summer of 2008. Chris is 13 years old, and they live in Fremont, California. So they're in Northern California.
Oh, they're by me.
Yep.
You know, that actually makes more sense because in the Bay Area, they had a film festival where they were showing that film.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that would make sense just locally. It's like, oh, it's happening like in the Bay Area. And in the Bay Area, everything's close to each other, right?
Yes.
Relatively.
Moving on to the next one. Girls Will Be Girls. Tell us what it's about, Cinti.
Go ahead. This was a film. Sorry. My cat is distracting me. So Girls Will Be Girls takes place in a boarding school in, I believe, is it in India? A boarding school in India?
Yeah, I think it is. I'll verify, but I think it is.
Yes, so it takes place in a boarding school in India, and I don't remember character names at all. But it follows a girl who... Okay.
So I
watch films. I don't remember details, but I watch them.
The main girl, her name is Mira.
Mira. It follows a main girl named Mira, who has just been announced to be head prefect of her school. I think she's a senior, and so she's now head prefect. She's the first female head prefect, and it's been bestowed upon her to enact some sort of, like, she's in an authoritative position, so she's supposed to, you know, reprimand and her friends, and then just overall follow the rules. Set an example, and it's multifaceted. Because Mira, even though she's a head prefect, she's still a young girl who is interested in the aspects of love. So it kind of follows her developing feelings and forming relationships with one of the boys from her school, an exchange student actually, and kind of navigating that, like, the line or towing the line between being a kid and being the example that the school headmaster and teachers expect of her. It also navigates her relationship with her mother as she's coming to terms with, like, who she wants to be as an adult, and she feels as though her mom is kind of getting in the way. And then when she's also developing her own romantic relationships, her mom seems to be a roadblock in that as well. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a general overview of the film.
Ma'am. Period. Yes. So shall we go band for band? Scene for scene.
We should go band for band.
M for M.
Back to the Maybach truck.
Period. So, the first scene that I would like to say is the one, and this is a two-parter. I'm going to do a two-parter, because why not? So the first one was when Mira, she is like chilling in her room. She's dancing, like getting ready or whatever.
Yeah.
And then her mom comes in and the mom's like, hey, yeah. And then she's like, if you don't stop dancing, she doesn't say that, but she just looks at her while she's dancing.
Yeah.
Mira looks at her mom like, why are you dancing? And so Mira's mom is like, okay, so I guess we're not dancing together.
Doesn't she turn off the music?
No? Yeah, I think she turned off the music. I can't remember. I think the mom got the hint and then turned off the music, or was it Mira who walked over and turned off the music?
Oh,
I don't remember.
I think. Oh, that's a good.
I feel
question.
like it was the
mom,
mom,
but
I feel like it was the mom.
Yeah, it might have been the mom.
But I digress. It doesn't matter too much. And then the second part was later on. They had another dancing music scene where Mira and her crush. I don't know how to pronounce this. I forgot, but it's SRI. Seri?
Three?
I think.
Was it Sri?
Yeah, I think it's that. And so he and Mira are dancing. Yeah, dancing. And, you know, they're having their fun little thing. And the mom knows that she has a crush on this guy. She knows. They've already been caught talking on the phone together. She knows. And so they're dancing. And then they start to do like a slow dance type of vibe, partner dancing. Yeah. And then the mom's like, oh, Mira, you have to do this and you have to do that. That's not quite right. And then she's like, let me show you how it's done. Moves her daughter out of the way and starts slow dancing, partner dancing with Seri. Are you joking, Mama? Are you joking? And Mira's just looking at them like, I can't believe this. Mother, are you joking me?
Yep.
Are you out of your mind? Are you mad? What's going on?
She is mad.
Yes. So that is my scene.
Okay, so here's the thing. The mom and Shri, every scene with them is a scene. And it's multifaceted. So if you don't, I think there might be 3 or 4 to coincide with this. If you don't mind if I do each.
Bam, do it.
So, overall, I'm gonna just, the elephant in the room. I didn't enjoy this movie, and it's mainly because of the way the mother acted with the crush boyfriend. It just felt incredibly inappropriate.
Which I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, incredibly inappropriate. So the first scene was, so the mom is aware that Mira loves, or not loves, but it just is infatuated, has a crush on this dude, right? Mm-hmm. And she's kind of allowing her the opportunity to see him in a certain manner by allowing him to come over to the house quite often in the guise of like doing work together. Oh, sorry. My camera froze for a bit. But anyway, so in the guise of doing work together. So every single time he comes over, she offers to make them snacks. And the first thing was a strawberry, I think it was just a strawberry milkshake. Mm-hmm. And it's the way that they're working, they get a little bit of get a little handsy, and then all of a sudden they're like, let's go get the milkshake. When Mira comes down, you see the mom is drinking a milkshake, Shri is drinking a milkshake, and she goes, where's my milkshake? And the mom's like, it's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen. Go make it. Go get it.
And so she goes and she grabs it, and like, there's no space for her. I don't even know if it's this instance or when it's a tea, but like, when the tea happens, she made like, I think cardamom or chamomile tea. She added sugar into Shri's, she added sugar into hers, and she left the third cup without any sugar. And she brought the 2 cups over, and Mira comes back down, comes and asks for her tea. The mom points to the kitchen, and you see that she's like making her tea by herself, showing that there's distance because she's drinking it in the kitchen while the mom is drinking and having it with Shri, right? Yep. So that's 2 different instances where she's like catering to the guest, but at the same time, like, it also shows that she's actively putting a wall between herself and her daughter, and showcasing like, oh, it's me and him, and then it's you. Like, you think you're in a relationship with him, but I have a stronger relationship, and that's where I'm like, it's inappropriate. And the final scenes, because it happened twice, that bothered me so much was when she slept in the same bed as him.
Multiple times.
Because for one, if you're studying, right, why do you think it's a good idea to take a nap in the girl that you're interested in's parents' bed? Like, what makes you think that's a good idea? Right?
Hmm.
So he takes a nap. Mita comes to go grab him, and the mom's like, let him rest. Like, she's cleaning up. And then after she cleans up the books, she proceeds to lie down and take a nap. Like, what? Huh?
Oh, brother.
Okay.
And can we, I'm just going to chime in here. Can we also talk about the fact that she's like stroking his hair? You remember this?
I forgot it. Yes, I forgot about that.
Insane.
Yes.
Let him sleep.
Oh my goodness.
Let him sleep.
Let him sleep. Yeah,
like,
no.
Grr.
Wake him up and move him. And then the scene, so here, at first, I understood what she was doing at the birthday scene, right? When he was sleeping over for his birthday.
Yeah.
I understood her, I forget the word, but like
motive.
Her worries.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said motive.
Yeah. It's like her reprehension. It's not, I'm not gonna even try to remember the word. But anyway, I remember she felt like she was concerned about him sleeping in the living room because that is easy access for Mita, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, I know what you guys are trying to do. I'm not going to allow this to happen in my house. And which I understood. I'm like, I get it, right? Your house rules, whatever. It is also dangerous to be inviting your daughter's pseudo boyfriend for a sleepover. Yeah. But at the same time, I can also understand you preventing that, right? Mm-hmm. And so when she was like, oh, give up your bed. And she goes, no, I don't want to. He can sleep here. And she goes, he can't sleep here. He can sleep in my room. I assumed that she was going to sleep on the couch. He was going to sleep in the room. And then she was going to sleep in her room. Yeah. I had no idea that they both were going to sleep.
If I'm not mistaken, at least at first she said that. She was like, I can sleep on the couch and then he can sleep in the... And then I was like, girl, why are you sleeping in the same bed?
Yeah. I was so confused to find him there. And also, she really shot herself in the foot. Because the way she could have easily slept in the living room, and he could have slept in the bedroom, and it would have been easy, you know? If she didn't fight it. But anyway, I digress.
But you know the mom would have said something else. She would have said something else.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I was very shocked that, one, he was in the bed, and then two, when she expressed to her mom that I need to wake him up at 5 a.m. to study. Like, that's the reason, right? Mm-hmm. And then she goes and wakes him up, tries to wake him up at 5 a.m., and he refuses to get up. The mom is like, let him sleep. I thought them revising was so important to you. Why are you not letting him go and revise? Why are you letting him sleep in 3 hours? I understand that she knows.
You know. But she knows in two ways. She knows in multiple ways. She knows what her daughter was trying to do. Because she said, I'm not stupid. But she also knows what she's trying to do. Because she's not stupid. She liked that intimacy. She liked that. They stayed, they stayed up all night talking. They stayed up all night talking. So inappropriate. Weird. That's probably why she fell asleep in the bed instead of the couch.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Ugh. Gross. But yes, those are the scenes. Every single time there was an interaction between the mom and the boyfriend, it just felt grody. Grody.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Do you have any other scenes?
I liked seeing the dad for 2 seconds and the mom. You really got the feeling that the mom hates that dad.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell, like, if you really think about it, right? You can tell that she doesn't get the respect or attention from her own husband. Nope. And that's the reason why she likes the boyfriend, because he gives her that respect and that attention. And we find out later on in the movie that it's ill intention, right? But like, he's ultimately giving her what she wants.
Yeah.
And that's why she wants to hold on to it longer, because she's getting what she wants.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that was good. And then the other portion that I liked watching was the scene when the boys came and attacked her because she got them suspended, which they deserved.
Yeah, for taking pictures of up girl skirts at school.
Yes, at school. And for me, it's one of those things where it's like, again, children, like young boys and young girls, are actually terrifying, because it's like, even her friend, and I understand her friend didn't have all the context, but her friend thought she deserved what was coming to her. And then one of the guys that was leading the brigade was a man that or a boy that she rejected. She was like, I'm not interested in you. Like, I don't want to take your Valentine. And he, like, threw it at her. And then immediately was like, as soon as they, like, literally locked her in the, excuse me, the girls' changing rooms, he was the first to be like, yeah, she's doing some, like, really, really, like, inappropriate stuff with Shri. Like, she shouldn't be doing this stuff with Shri. You need to go talk to her, you know? And I'm like, bro, you are now her biggest op. This is not how you're going to get her to like you. You are now
scorched earth now.
She will never like you.
Scorched earth. She's got to be taught a lesson, apparently.
I guess, but whatever. So yeah, that was another scene for me that I just was like, and I don't think I liked it, but it's just a scene that stood out because I'm like, okay, come on, are we being serious right now?
Yes. And then I would say the last scene that we also kind of mentioned already is the one where Shri really, he tells us that he's a manipulator.
Yes.
Okay. And so he says that every person has a key.
Winston!
Punish your child.
Sorry. He was trying to mess with my Lego set. He's like climbing on my bookshelf.
He's literally ruined some of your Lego sets.
Oh, he's ruined everything. And the thing about him is he's smart enough to know when I'm in a position where I cannot do anything. Because he knows I'm in the middle of a conversation that I can't get up from. Because if I could have, I would have stopped him way before. So apologies. Yes, you were talking about how Shri
revealed that he's a manipulator.
His true colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said each person has a key, right? And I was like, key, what are we talking about? But then he lies to the mom and he says, hey mom, your key is that you like it when I eat your food. That's what he says to her. But then he tells Mira the truth. Her key is that she likes attention. And so that's why I've been all up in her business and talking with her, sleeping in the same bed with her, hanging out with her, you know, drinking milkshakes without you with her. Because I know if I do that with her, I'll be able to see you. Right? That's what he's saying. And then so twisted, so weird. And then, do you remember what he said her key was? Oh, it was no bullshit. Nope. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, no bullshit. Yeah.
And it is, but the problem is that's all he is. He is completely BS. And so that's why she's been having these moments of like, why did you pretend to not know this? Right?
Yep.
You lied to me. And he's like, no, I didn't lie. Da, da, da. I was just, you know, I saw the way it made you feel. Da, da, da. So he's BSing the whole time. And that's why in the end, when, you know, they're at the door and he's like, should I come back next week or tomorrow, whatever he says? And she's like, silence. And he's like, okay, I guess we'll never talk or see each other ever again. Goodbye. And so I'm not mad at that ending though. I was like, girl, thank you. Thank you.
And to be honest, I clocked it from the very beginning, from the first lie he gave, because I was like, why would he lie about, like, they were looking into something very intimate for the two of them.
Yes.
And he lied.
Yes.
And I'm like, that is a glaring red flag. And to be honest, I fully believe the reason why the boys knew that she slept with him is because he told them.
I think so too.
And also, I do not believe he went and got that key.
I don't think so either. Because the way he was talking about it, it just, when you have too much to say, it makes it seem like you're lying. You know what I mean? He had like well, I just asked her about this and she likes this. That's why I got the key. Da, da, da. And I was like, And even if you got the key, where were you?
Right.
I don't know.
Like, why'd he completely disappeared. He didn't show up at any point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, if he showed back up, I'm sure if he like actually went upstairs and came back down, he would have been able to ask somebody like, where did Mina go?
Yep.
And everybody would have told him that she's locked in the girls' changing rooms because all the guys chased her. Like, he didn't even try. And then also, how much time passed between when she finally went home and he came? Like, you didn't try to contact her to see if she was good?
Yep. And then even just when they were telling all the boys to not say the pledge, when she was the principal for the day, and homeboy didn't say it with her. And I was like, that's a good point, girl. That's a good point. He didn't say it with you.
He sucked. He literally was playing her. He just wanted to prove that he could get the head prefect. And I personally feel like it's one of those things where it was probably a side bet. I'm sure those boys were like taking pictures of under her skirt to give him an opportunity to come in and be like, hey, like I actually care. But it was all for a ploy to ultimately get what he wanted.
And you know he tells everybody what they want to hear.
Yep. Exactly. So, to be honest, I don't even know if he actually really liked her. Or maybe he did.
Maybe not. But then I feel like he's one of those people that's not even like, because his parents are not in his life and they don't care about him, I feel like he has a wall when it comes up to actually liking people. He probably has that wall. And so he doesn't think of people as like people to get to know and love. He thinks of people as pawns and pieces that he can move on a chessboard to get what he wants.
Yep.
So he probably does that. He's been going around to different schools. He probably does that to one girl at every single school. You know?
And I'm sure that's what happened with his ex-girlfriend. That ex-girlfriend that he brought up. So when he moves to his next school, he's going to talk about his new ex-girlfriend and paint a picture like he's not the reason everything like went to shit.
Yep.
So yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to say as far as the film? I feel like I kind of hit on my qualms, so I don't have anything extra.
Yeah, I would say overall, I liked the audacity of the mother, not as like I actually like it, but as like it was interesting to watch. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because I was like, okay, normal mom story. What is she doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you being weird? Am I crazy or is she being weird? Yeah, she was being a weirdo.
Very weird.
So that was interesting to watch and have because I was like, okay, she's trying to prevent it, but she's being nice by letting them actually see each other. No, she was doing that for herself. No. Ew, totally for weird.
Yeah,
grody. So I thought that was very interesting. As overall for the movie, I think this one was a decent movie. I wouldn't need to rewatch it. There was nothing in here.
Not at all.
I would say besides the mom being audacious, because I don't think I've seen that in film. That was a subversion.
Never.
That was a subversion of where I thought this movie was going to go. But besides that, it was like, I would have liked to see a little bit more of like the school, because that was kind of like boarding school is very interesting to me, because I've never been in a boarding school. So I would like to see more of that dynamic and more of, the actual school drama, as opposed to just the relationship drama and then the mom being oversteppy. I wanted to see more of like, give me a little bit more of the school and what's happening. Because it's like, it seemed like the relationships, like with her friends and things, were deteriorating. Her school grades were going down, but that was kind of like the side plot, as opposed to being a little bit more front and center. So I would say that's my complaint. And then overall, this one is kind of similar to Didi, where it's like character driven. There's more plot points in this one though, I feel like. But nonetheless, it's more character driven than like, okay, what's gonna happen next type of vibe.
Right.
So
yeah. And I think that's a great segue to like the commonalities between the two of them. So like them both being character driven and them both being coming of age films, right? And then I think is a strong thing because obviously you have Didi with Chris coming to terms, like, with him getting older, transitioning from middle school to high school, and then with Mira dealing with her own, with being a senior, and kind of coming to terms with that romance aspect. Would be a commonality. And then another one I think I would like to point out is, like, mom issues.
Woo!
And then not so present fathers.
Yeah, not so present fathers for real. Where are you at, father?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Truly.
Yes, ma'am.
But I feel like we've discussed this a lot though when it comes to families. It's like you typically do have hold on. Okay, still going. You typically do have like unpresent fathers.
Yeah.
And in the scheme of like the culture is typically from the mothers. The mothers are the ones that do a lot of the nurturing and a lot of the raising.
Mm-hmm.
So in this instance though, it seems more drastic because you actually physically do not see any influence of the fathers.
Yeah.
Sometimes in films you have dads there, but it's like, oh, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're not there, but in these movies, they legitimately are not there.
Yes, ma'am. It is true.
Yeah.
There was another one that I thought of. Oh, bad friends.
Bad friends.
Bad friends.
Terrible friends.
How, like, when you're
Terrible
young,
friends.
like, the only reason why you're friends with people is because they're around. That doesn't mean that they're your true friends or that you will be long-term friends with them. Sometimes it's just gonna die because you guys.
Doesn't
work.
Sorry.
Good.
I have a question for you, Chanel. How many of your friends that you made in high school are you still friends with today?
Okay, this is a very good question, and the answer is technically 1, but actually 0.
Right. And I know I understand that technically 1, but actually 0. I get that. But yeah, for me, I honestly think it's only 1.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So in all honesty, of course your high school friends suck because they're sucky people. But like you said, it's all about it's all about that's a clip.
Yep.
It's all about proximity, like you said. Like you become friends with the people that you're close with. And that's why I also feel is the point that I was making with the Didi film, where it's just like you can drop people because based off of where you are and your interests, you will meet people who have similar interests to you, that it will not be difficult to make new friends. There will probably be a lull period where you might feel like you don't have anybody, but if you just give it time, you will soon realize that you have people surrounding you who care about you. You know?
Yeah.
So don't keep people that you don't like.
Yeah, I would say also the friends that you meet in high school or below, eventually you get out of high school and you go on to college or you go and work and and you just you become your own person and the vibes become different and you become interested in different things. You move to different location, then it's just over. And Cindy, you know who my technical high school friend is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Because that one, I'll tell the podcast because this is actually funny. So, I have one friend from high school. We were not friends in high school. I literally talked to her one time. One time. That's all I remember. Do not remember talking to her outside of that. Anything. Was not friends with her. Nothing. And so later on, we went to college. Did not talk. Did not go to the same college. Did not speak. Randomly, we reconnected because some other friends were going up to visit her, and we reconnected that way. And then for some reason, I got invited to go up alone with her, and we hung out for an entire week in a 1-bedroom apartment with her and her boyfriend, and we were chilling the entire time. So after that, we were friends. So technical high school friend, technical. Right. We went to high school together, actually. But we were not friends in high school.
Which is why I would challenge you to say that she technically isn't a high school friend.
Yeah.
You met her post high school when you guys were more developed as your own people in college, right?
Yes.
So that's why I feel like you saying 0 makes sense, and technically because you guys went to the same high school and knew of each other, it's like but you weren't friends in high school, and it didn't continue from high school until now. So, yeah, it happens. You lose friends. You make new ones. Such is life.
Such is life? Wow.
Anyway, let's move on to the ranking.
Oh, yeah, the rankings. It's time.
Yeah. It's time. So, Chanel, I'm going to pass the baton to you. Where would you put... Yes. Where would you put Didi?
Didi, okay. So Didi was just decent. So I would put it above Babygirl.
But below The Color Purple?
Yes.
Oh, wait, yeah. Actually, should we remind everybody, or at this point?
Oh, yeah, we could remind everybody. So here is the current ranking without Didi. It is number 1, Femme. Thank you. Challengers, Anatomy of a Fall, Past Lives, The Substance, Anora, Wicked, Color Purple, Babygirl, A Different Man, The Last Showgirl, and Nightbitch. So I am putting Didi above Babygirl. Do you yay or nay, Cindy?
Okay.
Yay or nay?
I feel like that's fine.
Yeah. That's because I'm like, in my head, Didi's a decent movie. It's not bad. It's just whatever. You know what I mean? And so Babygirl, that one is closer to the badness than it is to the decent. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say? They needed to put a little bit more sauce in there.
I want to add a little bit of a quick anecdote. In preparation for this episode, Chanel and I wanted to cross-reference our Letterboxd because a lot of these movies we watched a while ago. So as far as what we felt at the time and then discussing in preparation for this, we wanted to see like what rankings we gave certain films. And Chanel looked at her Letterboxd rating for Babygirl and saw that she gave it a 4 stars, and she goes, I don't know what I was on, but this is not correct.
I said this had to be a mistake. This makes no sense. So I think I actually made a mistake, but I digress.
But that was so funny, because I was like, a 4? Because I went to go look at my rating, and I was like, Chanel, I like peeped the 4, and I was like, I don't think this is right. Anyway, I do agree with your ranking of Didi. Yes. Okay. So here's the situation though with Girls Will Be Girls.
Yes.
This is where a discussion is going to be needed, because whenever I have a strong feeling about a movie, it can be very strong and it can kind of negate a lot of the stuff that makes a film a film.
Yeah.
So I personally I very much did not like Girls Will Be Girls, mainly from the perspective of I found the instances with the mothers to be aggravating and then the instances with those schoolboys to be aggravating.
Yes.
So personally, I would like to say that I would put it in the category of below Babygirl, personally, because I just didn't enjoy it. But at the same time, I want to be cognizant of the fact that it's still a film that portrayed what it wanted to portray. While I feel like the films that are in the letter, like the bottom half that are below where I'd put Girls Will Be Girls, didn't quite do that.
Yeah. And I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you typically are the vibe. If you don't like the content of a film, it like puts a bad taste in your mouth and you'll make it low. Exactly. Regardless.
Yes.
It could literally be an amazing movie, but if you're like, I didn't want to see someone get stabbed in the face. And you'd be like, okay, that's a 1 out of 5. Thank you.
It wouldn't be that drastic if it was a good film, but definitely if it was like a 5 out of 5 film and someone got stabbed in the face and I didn't want to see it, it'd be a 3.
Yeah, it's going down.
Working on a 3 baseline. Yeah.
Yes. So for me, I would put Girls Will Be Girls under well, let me think about it. Here's my problem with Girls Will Be Girls. I liked what they did, but I feel like the movie was boring.
Yeah.
It was boring. I feel like with Didi, the pieces that I remember of the movie, they were like entertaining because it was like nostalgia and all that stuff. And it's kind of like, oh, that's so awkward. Like it was kind of entertaining. And so, I think for that reason, I'm going to put Girls Will Be Girls under Didi, but above Babygirl. But I could be persuaded to put it under Babygirl, honestly. My only... I was just going to say, my only issue with Babygirl is I feel like the plot needed a revision. You know what I mean? I feel like they didn't set out to do what they needed to do. And I feel like Girls Will Be Girls, they did what they needed to do. It's just, we could have zhuzhed it up more. But with Babygirl, I'm like, we needed to go back to the writing block and like restart, you know?
I could see that. So I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, it's a tie, right? Because it's not like we are saying that I'm saying Girls Will Be Girls is number 1, and you're saying Girls Will Be Girls is number 12. Like, we're pretty much at the same point where it's like, again, I'm indifferent, and I am acknowledging the fact that the reason why I would like to put it below Babygirl is because I just didn't enjoy it as a film.
Yeah.
Like, the content.
I'm not
saying it's not good, because if I'm really saying it's not good, I would probably put it right above Nightbitch. Yeah. Right? Because Nightbitch deserves to be at the bottom. And I don't even care. If you try to tell me that another movie is below Nightbitch, I will fight you for it. But
well, we'll see. We still haven't watched everything. There might be something. Chanel,
I will be incredibly shocked if a film that we watch is worse than Nightbitch. I will actually be incredibly shocked.
You never know. You never know.
Hey, and I'm willing to eat my words if that's the case. But for right now, I'd be incredibly shocked. Yeah. So I'm okay with putting Girls Will Be Girls above. You make a good point, above Babygirl, below Didi, because you do bring up a good point as far as the fact of like the film that they were trying to make with Girls Will Be Girls, they executed.
Yeah,
and I'm also acknowledging the fact that the only reason why I want to put it lower is not because of the movie itself, because I just enjoy the content, and that's very subjective.
Yes,
not objective. So I'm okay with keeping it below Didi, so that our new ranking is. I'm going to try to do this from memory. Femme, number 1. Challengers, number 2. Anatomy of the Fall, number 3. Past Lives, number 4. Ooh, number 5. Is that Anora?
No.
Oh, Wicked.
No.
No? What's number 5?
The Substance.
Oh, The Substance. Then Anora.
Yes.
Then Wicked.
Yes.
Then The Color Purple.
Yeah.
Then Didi. Girls Will Be Girls. Babygirl. A Different Man. Oh, shoot. Oh, The Last Showgirl.
Yep.
And then Nightbitch.
That is correct. Memory.
Dang. I completely forgot about The Substance.
Yeah.
That, like, literally out of my brain.
Yeah. Period.
Dang, we're getting through these movies. We're at, what, 14 now?
We're halfway through. Drama.
Woo. Yeah, another more episodes to go. 7 more? Dang.
Hey. Period.
Well, to the next episode then, right?
Correct. Bye, Cinti.
Alrighty then. Bye.
Bye. Is someone knocking on my door? Hello? Open the door. Open the door. I'm filming a podcast right now. Goodbye.
Bye.
You want to say hi to the podcast?
No, thank you.
Okay, bye.